What's up, y'all? How you doing? This is your boy Gerald. It is the 19th of December, 2013. How you doing? Are doing all right? How's your week going? Going great? Sidestepping that negativity, following your walk, right? You're embracing your higher power. Good, good, good. I hope all you are doing well. How's that Christmas shopping going? We got, hey, you know what's happening next week. And then if you blink twice, you might be popping champagne bottles because you're stepping into a new purpose in your life. 2014 has your name and blessings there. Okay, so in my last video I put out was talking about the relationship that you should have with your father, the importance, and the relationship you have with your parents, why it's very important, and how that has an impact on not only how your life is going to play out, but the decision making. Why it's very, very important that if your relationship with your parents, especially you, my queens, if you are in a relationship that was estranged, you will actually see a commonality play out all the time with the men that come into your life. That is why it's very, very important that you love yourself more and heal that bond with your daddy, because you're daddy's little girl. Now, I had someone inquire not too long ago, and they were like, "Well, Gerald, how do I know if a man loves me? Because it seems like every time I hear it, I always hear it when I gotta do something for somebody, or they want to have sex with me, and then it's just lies." And I thought about it. I prayed about it. Me, I stay in prayer throughout my day. That's what keeps me safe and protected. And I told him, I said, because you don't have your boundaries in perspective. That's why people are able to exploit you, because you're exploiting yourself. That's why energy out is energy in. But just know this: no one can do anything to you unless you allow it. Okay? That's why you gotta love yourself and put God first in everything you do. And when you truly trust Him, guess what? He's gonna teach you how to trust. He's gonna make them jagged edges smooth, and you're gonna actually be in tune with every emotion that's found in your body. But it'll be started with your discernment, because you'll see your worth. You'll really know. You'll step into a season that is truly heaven sent, because it's your life and you deserve it. So, to get back to the question, how do you know if a man loves you? Okay, my queens, I'm going to give you the real, because you deserve it. You ready? You take it. I know some of you taking notes. See, I see you right there. See? No, I'm just playing. But you deserve to have the life intended. And some of you may have already come in contact with your husband, don't even know it. But just know this. I'm going to throw this out here too. It's deeper than this. It's deeper than the physical, because if you, for every action that you go through, the worst thing you can do is take the position of a serial dater. You see them all the time. They're really narcissistic because they're broken inside, and that's why it's like their truth never comes out, because they're wounded. They don't know how to navigate their life. That's why they're plagued with problems, because they're not ready to look at themselves to do the legwork to get them through the life that it's intended to. But hey, God loves you, and He can change anybody. He changed me, and that's part of my testimony. So. But let's go there. How do you know if a man loves you? All right. Number one, he sees your worth, but he discerns it through his. See, when a man really loves you, he's going to make sure that he puts the time in. He is planting seeds in your life without the expectation of an instantaneous harvest. Did you hear what I'm saying? He is planting seeds in your life without looking for an instantaneous harvest. So if you are attracting are men that just want to hit it and quit it, they don't love you. They don't love you because they don't love themselves. They have taken a position of using what they think is the lure only to set you up for more pain. So that's why it's very important to have boundaries. So, with that being said, he is spiritually grounded. No. He might not be that guy that you see on Sunday service, but trust and believe he stays in prayer throughout his day, because he uses his discernment to make his decisions. He trusts his higher power to guide his steps. That's how you know a man that loves you. Now, with that being said, he always wants to put you in the best light. So when you're with him, he claims you, but is never in a position of he's just claiming you because of he wants to sleep with you, he wants you to cook for him, it's not, it's selfless, because he's looking at you as the prize, and he ain't gonna do anything. He's not gonna do anything to ruin that, because he wants to grow with you. He wants to walk with you. Follow me? How do you know if a man truly loves you? When he speaks his truth, he wants to ensure that every word that falls from his mouth is received, even if it's in time of pain. See, he may not be the source of your problems, but because he loves you, he's gonna walk with you and be there when you come through it. He wants to be there. He wants to be there because it's the investment. No man is going to waste his time on something that cannot grow. That is why, unfortunately, women, you have allowed yourselves to be convinced that, oh, I need a thug, I need a bad boy. Notice root word bad, keyword boy. So he can't love you because he doesn't love himself, and he will use those lures to compromise you until you figure them out. A man's not going to do that. I don't care if you had a reputation of being the biggest concubine on the block. He will never judge you. How can he judge his queen? However, because he loves you, he also knows that you have to grow. You got to grow. So he doesn't want to complicate that. So he takes a position through prayer to allow his higher power, I know him as my Lord Jesus Christ, to position him in your life to have access to him in the most decisive moments. Think back, my queens. I guarantee you, if you look at some of those pivotal moments in your life, he was there. He was there. How do you know a man loves you? He will always be your voice of reason. He will always be your bridge over troubled water. Why? Because he had already made the commitment with God. So when you go through situations, trials and tribulations, guess what? He's praying on your behalf because he wants you to make it through. That's how you know a man loves you. How you know a man loves you? His actions that he speaks are validated by his feet. Did you hear what I said? His actions that he speaks are validated by his feet. So everything that he says and does are validated. They are tandem. Why? Because he sees the investment. And let's go on, let's segue. And this is how you know. When y'all have conversations, like on the phone or something, or text message, he always uses the words our, we, us, you and I, both. Why? Because he wants to claim you. So when you're out and about, guess what? He wants you to feel like you are the belle of the ball, not his homeboy. He wants to make sure that when you're out and about, everybody knows you are with him. And he's willing to protect it to the very last breath. Why? He sees your worth. He embraced your virtue. That's how you know he loves you. How you know a man loves you? When you communicate with him, he will never give you bad advice. But he will not take a position of your father. Did you hear what I said? So therefore, he doesn't take a position of control, because he knows we have free will. That is why it's very important. Excuse me, my mouth is dry. Excuse me. That's why we have free will. But he also knows for any blessed relationship, you're going to go through peaks and valleys. And as long as he puts his trust in his higher power, he knows at the decisive moment and time that harvest will come. He never takes a position of ego and pride. So let's go back. Let's go back, my queens. So let's just say you got some stuff going on, right? Has nothing to do with him. He wants to make sure that you're able to feel emotionally safe so that he can give you the right sounding advice, so that you can remedy the situation, even if you've seen somebody else. Did you hear what I said? Because this is something that you ought to realize. Until you understand the true definition. Are you going to put your butt on my back? Okay. He's Tyson sitting over here. Until you understand and see your worth, you will never understand needs and wants. Because you are positioning yourself from what is found in your heart. Now, he wants nothing but the best for you. So he will tell you this. But he won't interfere. Because he wants you to emotionally grow. Even if it means taking a position to step away. Why? Because he wants to make sure that you, because you're a thinker, make the best decisions for your life. Even if it means not with him. Okay, you ready for this one? Here is how you know a man truly loves you. Depending on how connected he is with his faith, he can feel your pain. He can actually feel your shame and guilt too. How many times have you had a conversation, because you may be in the midst of the one, and left field they say something that only you and whatever that environment should know, and it blows your mind. You're like, how does he know? Why? Because he's walking with God, and God is using this information not only to chastise him, because he has to discern, but what's happening is it's giving him a different perspective as well, because that may be found still in his heart. So there's nothing worse for a man. I'm going to tell you this, ladies. There's nothing worse for a man to have an emotional tie with a woman and she's not walking with him. She's walking with somebody that does not have her best interest. You want to hurt a man? Go get with Mr. Right now. That's why you hear about love triangles, and unfortunately, that's why cemeteries will never go out of business, because 85% of the people in those cemeteries were derivatives of things found in love or false love. That's real talk. How you know a man truly loves you? He will express it through his words. He may write them, he may speak them, but he will use whatever avenue that he has to, with compassion, to convey it. So he may tell you, yes, I love you. Yes, I adore you. However, we can't be together. And that's going to be contradictory, because you're saying, well, how can you love me and not be with me? Why? Because he knows that you have a lot of growing to do. And he wants to see the woman that he feels in his spirit be manifested here. So he doesn't want to block or impede your walk. But that devil,
Mac, I don't even understand how they didn't understand who in that devil.
it is. But that devil, he gonna bring you Mr. Right Now, and Mr. Right Now gonna look what you like in a man. He gonna be packing like you everything that you desire. But guess what? His job is to convince you not to see your worth. His worth. His whole position is to break your spirit, break your body. He's gonna turn you out, and he's gonna leave you emotionally depleted. That happens when you don't have the boundaries in check. But guess what, my queens? I'm gonna tell you, this is how you know a man, or I'm gonna put it out there. This is how you know the one. Because every time that you are able to be in the midst of the one, like I said, some of y'all may have been in connection with your husband, didn't even know it. But you had that feeling in your spirit like, wait a minute. That's why you keep the communication there. You do it. And you look at it in a sense of, well, you look at every other man that you come in contact, and you just cut it off, move on. But that guy, you can't move away from him because he loves you. And that's why some of you may take that position, which is wrong, that he will end up becoming your free therapist or your emotional battery. So while you're out there kicking up dust, dealing with Mr. Loverman, you always retract to him because you know your self-esteem and your self-worth has been compromised. That's why I tell everybody. I tell women, stop looking for a man. Stop messing with them dating sites. Because I'm going to tell you what. God don't need you to bring the one in your life. And actually, it's an abomination by you taking a step to go that route. That's why when you decide to step outside the box, you always end up having to pull your panties up, pick your pride up, put your face back on, and you wonder how you got there. But here's the kicker, bro. Here's the ironic part about it. The one, they are constantly working on themselves. They are constantly evolving because they're grounded. They know what needs and wants are. They know, and they're not going to settle. But here's the kicker about that. They ain't going to put up with your foolishness either. They're not. So it's a blessing. You should thank those people that have history in your life, because they want and will always want your best interest. But until you love yourself, you won't be loved. You'll be used. So that's how you know if a man loves you. And here's another thing too. This is how you know a man loves you. Truly loves you. Not the person that you put the mask on. Those memories that you have, those mementos that you got, you can't throw them away. And the funny thing about it is, you can compartmentalize your heart from your physical body. So you can be with somebody, but they're only serving a template, or because there's a void there. But you know that you're lying to yourself all the time, because you know that he ain't the one. He may supply me financially, physically, but guess what? That thirst is never is never replenished. That's why some of you are into thrill seeking. That's why some of you say, well, you know what? If I can't beat him, I'm gonna join him. And guess what? Who get played? You. And meanwhile, depending on how severe, the man that truly loves you, he takes note. Because guess what? Every time that you see each other and come across or speak, he is truly invested in you. So he listens. He visually takes notes. And he knows what you're doing. And that's why I told in my last video. Check it out about the connection with the Father, my queens. Check that out. Because a man can see, he already knows what you're doing before you open your mouth. But if he takes the time to speak his truth of compassion and courage to you, do not disrespect him. Give that truth back, because that's going to heal. You deserve that. You're doing a disservice by not doing that. And lastly, because he loves his higher power, because he discerns his steps, everything that he has set out to do will come into fruition. But here's the kicker. It's very dangerous. What will happen is you will see this person literally do like this. Here's your dream. But because where you are, because you didn't invest, you won't be able to live it. You won't. So it's very, very important that you have your parameters in place. You have to. So if you are seeing the effects of this, thank your higher power, because God has placed someone in your life to not only walk with you, but to help you grow. Okay? So, as I always say, God is praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth, because I know mine. And as long as you put God first in everything you do, He will position you to receive the blessings intended with your name on it. Okay? You have a blessed day, y'all. Bye.